Good.
There we go. So here we are, guys, on Antiga Shipyard. And Kevin Naki, why don't you go ahead and introduce our wonderful players today?
Well, there they are on your screen, but now here they are in the game, and down to the bottom right-hand corner of the map, Antiga Shipyard. We have our orange Terran player from Team Quantic down 0-1, trying to tie things up. It is Illusion. It's not a trick, Michael. Illusion fans out there. Here in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have from Team Liquid.net, our blue Protoss player and winner of game number 1. It is HerO.
That's right.
Okay, those are the same fans, so I don't really know who they're voting for.
Everybody
now,
just loves StarCraft too. It's okay. But yeah, I mean, both these fans definitely have, or both these players rather, definitely have some fans out here supporting them today. I'm sure there's a lot on the stream as well. Some of Illusion's teammates even came along to show some support, his manager as well. So
that's right. Hawk wearing one of the best hats I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's a pretty impressive hat. I tweeted it just a little bit ago, so if you want to see it, definitely jump on Twitter.
Yeah, they've got this like big 40-foot board that's like running social media stuff, which we are hashtagging IPLHIN throughout the event. You will actually appear at the event if you hashtag IPLHIN, so you should probably do that. But Hawk's hat was on the big screen for a long time.
I would recommend definitely doing that. So, Antiga Shipyard, 4-player map as opposed to the 2-player map that we saw last time. It's got 3 bases that are fairly easy to get to early on for each player, but what really is good for the Terran race is the ability to use those drop ships to do damage to their opponent's bases in kind of unexpected ways. They can come in from the side through the air, drop units right in the base, and this is a great map for it. There's a lot of paths you can take that your opponent may not see you coming, so HerO's going to really need to be careful for that. He's going to need to be scouting and watching for those drops that Illusion may decide to do.
Yeah, and we'll see if Illusion goes down that route here in a bit. Of course, it is going to be a one-rank gases fast expand to start things off.
That's right.
Illusion not really showing us anything weird out of the ordinary like he did in game number 1. HerO, interesting to note, did end up going with the exact same thing, even down to the 2 workers in each gas. So it seems to be more of a trend for Protoss players lately in all matchups, not just PvP as we had speculated back in Team Arena Challenge.
Oh, it's actually fascinating that he did go ahead and take both of those gas geysers right away, even though he's not losing them. I mean, or using them rather. He's going to be putting down a Nexus fairly soon, probably. I mean, it looks sort of like a one, gate expand, so to speak. And he doesn't have, those gases full. Man, I suddenly can't speak the English language. That's kind of a problem, isn't it? So he's not using the gas, right? So the thing is we used to see a lot of Protoss players only take 1 gas, move into that, to take the expansion right away, then put down their second. We're just seeing both gases taken immediately from Protoss players right away, which is maybe not the most economically sound thing to do, but does give you the option to start that tech a lot quicker.
It wasn't that long ago, maybe just a month or 2, where the one gate sentry expand fell out of favor in PvT as well, and that was something that actually revolved around 3 workers in each gas right away. Of course, you didn't take the 2 gas geysers before the cybernetics core, 1 came afterwards, but still, the premise was kind of the same. So this could end up being, just a 1 gate expand, but he has a little bit more flexibility with gas to get out a couple of early sentries.
Right, and I mean, the way he did it too is a little bit more defensive in nature. It's a little bit safer. You're going to have your warp gate research earlier. You're going to have the ability to get a couple sentries out early on if you need to force field the ramp to keep some early bio units of the Terran away. And look at this, Illusion going up to 4 barracks back at home. He's going to absolutely power out a lot of Marines, maybe some Marauders added on with this soon. The style he's playing, I really feel like, is the best style in TVP right now, just to get an overwhelming amount of units very early on, really put a lot of pressure on your opponent, and a lot of times you can catch Protoss a bit off guard.
Yeah, and HerO is standard as standard could be. I mean, 3 gates after the S-band, so still just mining 2 on each gas for the time being. That's all he really needs to support this entry production, and we may see if he decides to put up that Robotech here momentarily. He does certainly have the gas for it and can produce a couple of observers right afterwards. Now,
probably will be, yeah.
Yeah, his opponent Illusion, though, going to be sitting on some upgrades very, very soon as he gets that 100 minerals to complete with 100 gas. Stim? Maybe? Bueller? No combat shields.
Nope. Yep, it is going to be combat shields. Again, this is the 4 barracks build, so generally you do get combat shields first. It gives your Marines that 10 extra hit point advantage that they can use then to push in a little bit more aggressively. You don't have to be quite as worried about Stalker Micro early on. So it looks like our Terran player Illusion is going to be going for a bit of an early attack here.
All right. Well, we'll see how HerO wants to react to this. He does actually catch an SCV off to the left-hand side with the sentries. Killer SCV. They're still a disciple, though, unfortunately. Maybe eventually will be an instructor later on in his life.
Right.
But Illusion had sent 2 SCVs. One does actually get into his opponent's base, and he sees everything. But, of course, everything is about what you would expect at this stage of the game, unless HerO's going to start putting on some 3-gate pressure, which he already does have down the forward pylon and a bunch of sentries. We'll see if once these join, he's going to become very aggressive very soon.
Yeah, now Illusion only does have one bunker up at his ramp right now, so if HerO gets some good force fields, he can cause some problems. Oh, the SCV does scout it though, but here comes HerO. Is he going to get there in time? He already does have SCVs repairing. Yeah, and Illusion, no problem at all pushing back that first initial wave.
Yeah, shuts that down. Now, an interesting thing, too, is that, of course, HerO not taking it behind us quite yet. May very well do so here in just a bit. But if Illusion's able to hold this pretty well, doesn't take too many losses in units, because of the 4 barracks he produced before, we'll actually be able to follow up with a monster of a counterattack.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, HerO making a bit of a mistake there, pushing up, taking some damage on those Stalkers. He's actually really lucky he didn't lose any to those Marines. Now, we can see Illusion being very careful here. Oh, never mind about careful. He salvaged the bunker. He's going for it. He's got combat shields, and he's going to try to push HerO all the way back to his base.
And force fields don't really trap any units behind. They trap them towards the units. So, unfortunately, one of those sentries just about ready to fall down, and HerO losing a couple of those Stalkers as he moves out.
Yeah, Marines with combat shields are a very scary force to go up against for a Protoss player early on. More Marauders and Marines coming out right now. Stim being built as well. Illusion continuing to push here. He's adding 3 more barracks right now back at home, too. He's going to go into a very, very heavy bio composition with this. And this push isn't meant to kill. It's just meant to kind of push back his opponent. And he's done a good job of it.
It's going to start getting a little bit weird here, though, for Illusion, because these Marines do not have Stim quite yet. The Stalkers are actually able to kite against them quite a bit, but the Marines actually do get on top of the units. Sentry goes down right away. One of the Stalkers have fallen as well. Second Stalker goes down. Maybe a third here in a second. No, it looks like Illusion going to pick off a couple of probes. They're finally picking off another Stalker there. Sacrifices a couple of units of his own. And we'll see what HerO decides to do from here on out.
Yeah, well, I think he's probably going to try to go for a counterattack here. I feel like Illusion maybe have pushed a little bit too far forward. That wasn't really a good trade. He lost a lot of Marines for not a lot of Stalkers and Sentries. And yeah, HerO's going to definitely try to press that advantage. The one Marauder there will kind of make him think twice about it, but what Illusion did was so dangerous. I can't believe he pushed so far into the Protoss base.
Now, one thing to note about Illusion is that he does not have a starport down yet. Okay, there we go. Finally being added now. But he's on 7 barracks on 2 bases. And 7 barracks is going to be a whole heck of a lot of unit production, but it's also going to tax his economy quite a bit. It's going to make it a little bit harder to expand unless he makes a concerted effort to do that really, really soon.
Well, a lot of times you see this type of thing with a 3rd command center where there is no 3rd command center. This is more or less all in. Unless he stops making units for a little while, he's not going to be able to afford another base. So this is kind of a big deal for Illusion here. He's putting a lot into this army that he's building right now. He's going to have it pretty well upgraded. He's going to have a lot of units, but if he ends up not, winning with it or not trading efficiently enough, he's going to find himself a bit behind.
All right. Well, we'll see what Illusion can do from here on out. He is finishing up his 4th gas for now. Robotics Bay on the way once again for HerO, is sitting on that pretty typical 6-gate robo off of 2 bases. Now, because of the double forge, he'll probably take a 3rd base before he moves out. Very Creator Prime style. But, HerO has a lot of flexibility from here on out. This is a very, very powerful build, and if it's not punished pretty quickly, which Illusion looks like he wants to do, it could get out of hand very quickly for our Terran player.
Well, the style that Illusion is going for, this really, really, I guess, powering style where you get just a ton of Marines and Marauders out early on. You sacrifice your economy to a certain extent to do it. I mean, he's actually making 5 Marauders at once, but this style is working really, really well in TVP right now. So I like the decision that he made to go for this style. I feel like I wish he would have stopped a little bit earlier before he moved all those Marines into the base and lost them. I mean, imagine that force right now with like a dozen more Marines. It's about how many he lost. It'd be much, much scarier. Look at HerO's army, too, with the upgrades that he's gone for, with the technology that he's gone for. He's going to have a much smaller force. You can see he's got some back home as well to defend against the possible drop play that we talked about a little bit earlier. But, I kind of feel like if Illusion's going to go for something, he needs to go for it pretty soon here.
And unfortunately for Illusion, the Zealot does get away. No, actually, just going to turn back in. He wants to see when this army is moving out. Of course, those forward pylons will go down. At least one of them. There are one actually was taken out off to the left-hand side, so there are no more forward pylons. There we go. Actually, one off to the very, very left. So Illusion moving across the map now does have 1-1 finished up with this attack in a pretty staggeringly strong force. He has 10 workers down on his opponent. Gives him about a 6 supply advantage in overall army. But of course, Colossi starting to hit now for HerO. The first is already out.
That's going to be the big problem that Illusion's going to run into, is those Colossi again. We saw what a great amount of damage they did to his army last game. He's going to need to deal with that. He scans, actually. I saw the very edge of a scan, so he should see the army. Oh, but HerO HerO hiding his Colossus. Very, very smart move by Liquid HerO. We've seen Protoss players win with that very strategy before. We saw Squirtle do so well with it at IPL 3, and here goes Illusion getting force fielded there.
Yeah, Stims up in the front, trying to drop some units on the other side. There's not a lot of anti-air there, so there was a pretty good idea because he will be able to break the force field line, and a lot of the energy has actually disappeared off the sentries. There's Guardian Shield. Second round of force field picks off the robotics bay, so no more Colossi going to drop out here for a long time, and Illusion going to drop into the main.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, he can start to put pressure in on different areas here, but killing that robotics bay is going to be so useful. And he doesn't really need to do a lot of damage here. He kind of did the damage. Oh, wow, catching some sentries out of position.
Yeah, forcing some to waste a little bit of energy as well, so nice job there. A couple of Marauders actually just going to move command to their death, but that's all right.
I guess, yeah.
Well, Illusion did the damage he wanted to. He's sitting on a third base now. That's just about to finish up. Automaton is supervising the construction as always. Good guy, Automaton.
Robotics bay being rebuilt actually by Liquid HerO. Now, this does give Illusion time. He needs to produce some Vikings to take on those Colossi. And if HerO moves out right now, that may end up being a bit of a mistake because Illusion's got a pretty strong army. Oh, HerO may be walking to his death right here.
All right, and range didn't finish up as well, of course, when the robotics bay went down, so this army is quite a bit weaker. Does force a full stim out of Illusion, and he needs to be able to do a little bit of damage now. He's very low on his medevac count. No, actually, 2 more did catch up, so I thought he was just on 4 a second ago.
Oh, yeah,
but
he's
now
going to load up
6.
everything. Oh, this is such a good decision by HerO. Oh, but the Stalker's coming in.
And they have Blink available as well. Oh, but they missed their Blink a little bit. So Illusion going to drop down his forces off to the side. He's going to tear through those Stalkers. A couple of Colossi trying to catch up, but of course with just their 6 range, they expose themselves a little bit, and Illusion runs off to the side and picks one off.
He does kill one. The second Colossus getting low. It goes down as well. Illusion doing tons of damage to HerO's army, but his army is split up at the same time. He needs to get out of there.
Yeah,
but that's exactly what he's doing.
HerO voluntarily split up his forces a little bit as well, and where HerO was actually at a supply advantage going into those last couple of engagements, now finding himself in quite a bit of a supply disadvantage, but with good control may be able to clean the rest of this up.
Yeah, Illusion still does have the supply advantage, but he needs to pull back. Now he's actually going to drop in the main base yet again, but there are Stalkers there. Oh, one medevac getting taken out with some units inside.
Yeah, and the other one's trying to get away. At the same time, it looks like HerO chasing Illusion around in the middle of the map, but Illusion trying to offer a little bit of a pincer maneuver here. He's got to catch up. No, those movements, those units are on move command there. He could have taken down the Immortals pretty quickly, but unfortunately he's pushed back.
Yeah, they were not attacking at all. They got lost. Oh, but he will take out this third base again, denying that third base. So crucial in getting an economic lead in StarCraft 2. Illusion is in a position that we've seen him in before, where he starts to kind of have a little bit of trouble. He gets a good engagement like that. He kills some very important stuff in his opponent's army. He begins to get a little bit overly aggressive. He begins to get a little bit, I guess, antsy, you could say. Right now, what Illusion needs to do is calm down and kind of take stock of the situation. Say, all right, I've done some good damage. My losses have been fairly efficient, and all I need to do is just play safe at this point. Denying that third again, really, really helpful, but he can't get overly aggressive here. That's going to be the biggest thing that Illusion needs to worry about at this point.
And Illusion just continuing to tear ahead with bio units. Does he have a Ghost Academy down? He does.
Yep.
I do not believe there are any ghosts out. No, there are not. So Illusion getting pretty high up in supply. Would expect some upgrades started here pretty soon. At least Mobius reactors, something along those lines. Continuing to supplant those barracks. He's actually going to be up to a total of 9, I believe, with his continued good upgrades. So that's a check of his infrastructure. Now back on the Protoss side of things, I think he's just sitting on 6-gate Robo still, even at the 19-minute mark. So Illusion has done a good job of forcing HerO not to concentrate on his infrastructure as the game has gone along.
Yeah, it's been a good game again for Illusion. He's got that advantage in the mid-game. Dropping there, that's not going to do a whole lot of damage, but I don't think he lost any units. I think maybe 1 Marauder. He's also got a big drop coming into the main. This could do some damage.
Wow, that's actually 4 medevacs full of units, and he's starting to tear through a couple of production facilities. As we mentioned before, HerO was only sitting on 6 gateways, so he's almost lost half of them. Oh, and he could lose a couple of Colossi. One of them goes down. The rest of the units trying to just filter through this, and Illusion is going to pick up, but at the same time, he's got a drop going on the left-hand side, and it once again picks off that third base.
Yeah, look at the multitasking of Quantic.Illusion. Really, really well played there. Killing the third base for the 3rd time, doing damage in the main base, getting that really expensive Colossus, killing off a couple gateways. Illusion is maybe giving HerO a little bit too much to handle right now. He can't keep up.
Yeah, this is really well done by Illusion. I mean, there's no mining going on at this base. He's denied the third over and over. This base is starting to get very, very low. The production is once again being hampered. The Cybernetics core goes down. Not even any Stalkers are going to pop out.
Oh, another Colossi getting low. just barely gets it, and he needs to get out of there now.
Yeah, and does.
Yeah.
Very well done once again.
This is so great for Illusion because he's been able to kill so many Colossi, HerO's been having to spend a lot of his gas replacing those. That means that the Stalker count in his army is lower. It means he has less sentries. That's going to make the army overall easier to kill for Quantic.Illusion. So, yeah, good play so far. I mean, he's still doing well. That third base has been untouched so far.
Yes, it has been. He's been dropping all of his mules off of there and even has a force sitting in the middle of the map. So, Dark Shrine coming up for Liquid HerO. It's about halfway finished, and he's trying to add on a few additional gateways, but he lost 2 of them, and Illusion is just going to drop back in one more time as soon as HerO was just pulling his forces away. Really well done.
Yeah, and that's going to keep the third continuing to be vulnerable for the Protoss player. Illusion has that high ground in the middle of the map. He's got that 4th base secured at the bottom middle. He's really, really far ahead in this game, but the Dark Shrine is going to be a possible factor for HerO to possibly come back in this game. Illusion's going to need to make sure that he has detection around the map so that he can see those invisible Dark Templar and make sure they don't cause too much damage. And here we go. Probes transferring right in the middle of this.
Yeah, and a few Stalkers were picked off, trying to blink behind the rest of the Zealots. The Zealots, though, sitting on 3-3 upgrades, are pretty resilient. Quantic.Illusion, though, pretty good on his upgrades as well. Has quite a bit of force. He's going to try and pick off a couple of Colossi before he ends up leaving here. He'll get the last one. 2 hit points. No, doesn't, and actually ends up losing quite a bit here. But Illusion was able to trade pretty well there, and that's all he wanted, because now he's way out macroing his opponent, and any subsequent follow-ups are actually going to devastate his opponent.
Yeah, he's in another one of those spots, though, where he needs to pull back and play patiently here. He just lost a lot of medevacs. That's actually a big deal. Even though he did get that 1 Colossi down to really low health, the fact that he lost those medevacs is going to make it harder for his army to heal outside of combat, and he's attacking yet again. There are Dark Templar in that army, though. He gets the Colossus, though.
Oh, and scans as well. Yeah, heard the noise there, and the DTs, a couple of them actually already dying. Just 1 more left over from that engagement, so really well done. I feel like I've actually overused the phrase, and I apologize. Really well done. Really well done.
I'm just really hungry for a steak now after all that. That sounds great. You're just making me hungry, man.
Yeah, but well done is basically like having a hockey puck, so your mom didn't teach you anything.
What?
Anyway,
okay.
Let's see here, though, as Illusion going to push through the middle of the map now. He's got a fair number of Marauders and Marines along with us. No ghosts, though. There are 2 ghosts out. Okay, there is 1 along with the army.
He's got a 60 supply lead, too, so, I mean, he knows he has the economy to keep kind of bullying his opponent around the map, trading even a little bit inefficiently, targeting down that Archon, the Colossi getting very low, taken down as well. I think we're about to see Illusion take this game.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to tie it up 1-1 here in a second. Really impressive performance in HerO, kind of on his last legs now. The last couple of Stalkers are up, and, well, they're about to die.
Yeah, that is it. I love this powering style in Terran versus Protoss. It's working so well. The Probe's making a run for it. The Nexus is going to get targeted down. There is a DT in there killing off units, but there the mules landed. Yes. Illusion saying get out of the game to his opponent.
And HerO always a player, though, who doesn't want to give up until the very end. But there it is, GG. Quantic.Illusion ties things up 1-1.
Wow, well played by Illusion. Again, that powering